Hello everyone, it's Andrea and welcome back to my channel. I have a really special project today. I'm joining a few of my friends from the creative design team and we are still working on our trip to Vancouver and Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. We decided that we were going to, those of us who hadn't, we're going to scrapbook our tea party photos today. So the girls and now I think this is how it's going to go. I think it's going to be me and Janice. Julie already scrapbooked her tea party memories, if I'm not mistaken. Jama, Erin, and I think Katie's joining us for this. I'm not sure about Chelsea. I apologize, but I'll link everybody's videos down below in this video's description. Anyhow, we went to tea at the Empress Hotel in Victoria, and we had just the most marvelous little quiet girly time, and I'm not yet scrapbooked it. So today is as good of day as any to get that project done, don't you think? I'm going to be bringing in a few things, namely, I'm going to be using this sketch, and this is from one of our 12 by 12 sketchbooks, and you can find all of the sketchbooks that we've put out, digital sketchbooks, at cdtcreatives.com, and this is one of our sketches, and they come labeled with measurements, so it makes putting things together super easy. What I have done is I have taken the liberty of creating my base pages. So I have a sheet of black, a sheet of rosy from Close to My Heart, and a sheet of white. And I've trimmed it according to the photo directions, but then I didn't want all 3 layers in my scrapbook. So I kind of gutted some of this, and you can tell I cut this one a little bit too short, or it would be all, concentric. But in any case, I'm using these pieces then to mat my photos. So I've already done that. So I'm going to bring those in, but not before I give these 2 base pages a little touch of something. So I'm going to go bold with this. I have 2 areas here that I think I want to add some detail in. Right here in the top right corner of the right page. And then also on the left page, I think the top left corner, because I just want to give this a little bit of background interest. And there's little clusters located in both of these areas. I'm not going to put anything down here because I think if I do, it's going to cover up my ability to journal down in this corner. So we're going to leave that open for now. Here's what I'm thinking, and I'm a little nervous about doing this because I have this new, to me, Drizzling Droplets cling stamp set from Stampin' Up. So it is a rubber stamp, and I love the way that this looks with all these different like cascading dots. These could be lights or snowflakes or rain or lots of different things. It looked a little bit viney to me. I just love the way it looks, but since it's rubber, I can't see through it and I'm a little nervous. And then I thought about adding this after I had gutted all that paper. So we're going to have a little bit of an uneven surface. Let's see if this will work. So I'm going to bring in that stamp. I've got it mounted up already. Let's do one side at a time. So we've got some area over here to ink things up. And since we have rosy paper here, I'm going to bring in my rosy ink, and we're going to have everything match. So I'm just going to ink this up. And you see, this makes me just a little bit nervous because, like I said, positioning this stamp, a little nerve-wracking. So I want to do this corner up here, but I'm going to just make this the upper corner. So I'm going to just stamp closer to me, and then we'll just switch things around. So here goes nothing, girls. I have inked that up, and I'm going to just sit that up here on the edge. And let's just see how this works. I'm a little afraid. So I'm just going to rub this a bit because, like I said, we've got those 3 different levels of paper here. So I'm afraid that we're going to get like a little bit of a not so clean impression. But the rubber stamp actually has a lot of cushioning, so I think it might accommodate it. Perfect. I love the way that that looks. This was exactly how I was hoping it would turn out. So isn't that pretty? I just think this would be so pretty for so many different backgrounds. And then let's do the same. We're going to do this corner right up here is going to have the detail. So let's go opposite and we'll switch it around. So we're going to do this corner now. I will consider that a win. Like I said, a little overage there, but I think we're going to have something over there. So we're not going to even worry at all. Let's look at our photos now. So I have our big photo. This is going to go somewhere in this neighborhood over here, I think. And then what I've decided to do is, instead of doing one big 6x4 photo, I'm going to do two smaller 3x4 photos. And I'm thinking something like this. And I think that's going to be pretty. We're going to be able to put a little floral accent here, and then we'll have just a little room for journaling, I'm hoping. And I'm just laying these out so I can get a feel for where I want to put everything. But I think the first step is going to be to actually, we're going to have a lot of moving pieces here, but I just want to maybe try to put just a tiny bit of adhesive down in back of this layout, back of this photo, before I adhere it to the layout. And I'm thinking it's going to go something like here. So I put one little tiny dot because we're going to build lots of layers of paper behind here. So I'm going to bring in the pieces that I've cut according to the sketch. So what do I have here? I have a bunch of pieces from Flowering Zinnias paper. I don't know if this is still available. I'm going to bring in what I have. You've seen me use this in a few different layouts. We had a tea house layout that I used the very bold greens with some reds and stuff. And then I used this in an Epcot layout. In any case, I still have some left. It might not be available at the moment, but it is a pretty paper pack. If you don't have it, there's so many other papers that you could substitute in that, you know, Stampin' Up! Carries. I also have some paper here, and this one is from Secret Garden. Now, you might have seen me do an engagement photo layout. I'm going to link that down below in this video's description for you to find it. But in any case, I had a few pieces of this periwinkle patterns cardstock left over, and I'm going to bring that in. And you might ask, well, how does that work with this layout? We had lots of pinks and bright colors here, some yellows in the pastry, some greens in the pastry. That's where I'm bringing in the green from. But I will show you another photo. I'm going to pull in this is the photos from the other side, but you might be able to see that there's a hint of blue around all of the china at the Empress Hotel. And so that is where that periwinkle color right there seems to pair pretty well. So that's why I decided on the periwinkle. Now I'm going to put down our photos and get this up. So I'm going to turn these over, and I have actually labeled these on the back with the letters that correspond to the sketch. I just thought that that was a good way to not lose track of my pieces. And this looks like it's going to go somewhere up here. Then we have this piece, and that's going to slide back there too. These don't have to be exact. The sketch, just trying to get them in there. Sort of similar. It's not the end of the world, like I said, if they're not exactly the same as the sketch. This one is going to go down below. So this is H. This is going to tuck down here in this area. And then we've got two more pieces here. We've got F and G. So F is going to go down first, and then G. And I need to make a couple tags now. So I'm just going to go ahead and let's just slide these over together. I'm going to bring in my little mini cut and emboss. And I've got the plates all here lined up. So I need a 1, a 2, and then another 2 to top it with. And I'm going to bring in this set called Greetings of the Season. It's a holiday set, but if you buy the bundle, or you could buy these separate, these dies are fabulous. And I thought that this would be a really good fit, this bigger die. So I have 2 pieces of that periwinkle cardstock here. Here we are. And I'm going to stack those up together. And the die is pretty because it has lots of detail. I think we're going to get like a little edge on here. In any case, I'm going to stack these up. And I'm going to just line these up like so. And let's see if we can't run 2 pieces of cardstock through our die cutting machine all at once. And we definitely can. I love this little mini cutter because it's just easy to pull out. I can pull it out when I need to cut just something quickly. And then I can just easily put it away. So now I have 2 of these tags together. Try to get them apart. There we go. And you're hearing the embossed edge. I'm going to bring this up, and I hope that you can see that there is just the most delicate embossed edge around each of these. And we need 1 for each side. So we're going to just tuck this in. Let's give this a little adhesive as well. And I think this was actually supposed to go in back of this green one. I don't know if I'm going to put it in back. I think we're going to keep it in front of the green one. And I love that pop of color. I think it's going to pull in some of the china. And I do love this busy patterns flower paper here too, because I think that also reminds me a bit of the china. So it's busy. We're using it in just a little touch, but it feels good counterbalanced to this stamp up here. Don't you think? We're not going to build our embellishment clusters yet. Let's move on to our right-hand page, and we're going to put that together as well. And we have a bunch of pieces here. On this one, let's start with this double matted 4x6 photo, because I think that that is going to be the first piece that we want to put down. But I want to leave this section up here open because we're going to tuck papers in back once again. So I'm just going to adhere it and gently leave that back open. I've got some close-ups of the teapot and the china. I love taking those little detailed photos, and it was so much fun being away with the girls on the design team. And I'll tell you why, because everybody thinks very much the same. We all think very detail oriented, and it's just a lot of fun because we ended up with just a tremendous amount of photos that all just work so beautifully together. Now, I don't know why, but it's important to me that the bottoms of these photos, the photo mats, line up. Now I've got photos of the girls, and you're going to notice as I put this one down, I'm going to flip it over and put some adhesive on it, but I needed some extra space, some extra cardstock. I'm going to cut into a whole nother sheet. So I actually snuck out some flowers that I needed to build our embellishments, and I snuck that out of the back of this photo of Jama here. And I'm going to put Jama over on this side. I'm going to put Janice over here, and then we're going to use a flip flap eventually to put the rest of us here on the layout. The first thing that I want to put down is this piece H. So that's going to get tucked up in back here. I think it was supposed to go a little higher. I want to see a little bit more of these dots, so we're going to leave those dots up there. And then we're going to use the big periwinkle tag. So this layout's coming together really quickly. Let's talk about the embellishments. Now, I have been, like I said, I've been working on engagement photo layouts like a mad woman. Let me just bring one in to show you. I actually have a stack here, but which one should I do? Let's just bring in the one that you've seen if you've watched the video so far. Done a video here on YouTube where we talked about using big photos, and I shared these dies. These are Secret Garden dies on Secret Garden paper, and that's what this is, Secret Garden. But I'm going to give these a different look because I'm going to go with a much darker color. We're going to do flowers in rosy. So let's just see how that looks compared to this. This one's soft and romantic. I'm going to go a little bit more bright and cheerful and not so soft and romantic. Here is the die set. It's got a lot of dies. It is an exceptional value for everything that you get. And as of today, even if you weren't a former customer of mine, a former close to my heart customer, you can purchase these through my website beginning now, along with the Secret Garden paper and a few other things like flip flaps and page protectors and albums. And so grab these. This is $30 US for this set, and the amount of dies and the detail that you get in it is just incredible. I have gone ahead for the sake of time. You know, you guys got to see me use the mini emboss and cut machine. So we, you know, making these tags. So I went ahead to save time and cut these out. So basically, each flower is comprised, each big flower is comprised of 3 layers. So I've put one together already. What's nice with the Close to My Heart cardstock, and hopefully you'll see, there is some of this available on my website too that you're now going to have access to. And, you know, there's several colors out there. So you've got a lighter shade and a true shade. And so I have cut the lighter shade for the big one. I have cut the darker shade for the middle one. So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere those down. And then I have the lighter shade once again for the top layer. So you can stack up all 3 layers like so. You can twist them till you're happy with the way that this looks. I'm going to put mine right there. And you can build them in any way. You can do 2 layers. You can do no layers. You can, you know, whatever you choose, you can make these look different. But how different is this? It's a bolder choice than what we have with our romantic flowers here. Still beautiful, but a little bit bolder. You could layer different colors of cardstock. You could do patterned cardstock. There's so much that you could do with these, and each way that you go ahead and form these flowers, they're going to have a style that's different because it's all uniquely you. I have also taken a blending brush, and I'll show you that in just a moment. And just like the photos on that engagement layout, I have just used a blending brush. I'm curling these up a bit with my fingers. I want to give these a little bit more movement. So blending brush, I have taken both the middle and the top layers, and I have used a blending brush right here. I brought in rosy ink because we're using rosy paper. So let's just keep going with this. So I've just taken a blending brush and I have just gone over the center of these. So like I said, the middle, so the mid-size and the smallest, just gone over the center and created some shading. You're welcome to do that. You can leave them plain. I think the shading adds a lot more dimension and shadowing. So I think that that's a really nice thing to add. So I have our 3 flowers. I have lots of leaves cut out here. And then I brought in something from my stash. Now, I used the textured metallics paper. Comes in 3 shades. So I've used the gold, and I have cut these out of an old stamp set. This is a card making kit from Close to My Heart called Storybook. And really, I wasn't in love with the stamp set, but these 2 thin cuts I thought I could use over and over again. So they're right back here. I thought they'd work so well with all my Disney photos and how many royal things we do, you know, princesses and such. So I just thought I would use it in that manner. But then when I looked at the china here at the Empress Hotel, they definitely have the crowns. So I wanted to maybe bring those in. So I cut those out. We're going to see how they all come out. Let's build our little floral embellishment clusters. So there are 3 different places on our sketch that need a flower. Here's one. That one's going down. Here's another. And then the third is over here on this tag. So I think I'm going to keep this one up just a little bit higher here. This way, if I decide to put a flip flap down here on Jama's photo, because there are 7 of us that I need to put here, and I will be able to then, you know, put this picture of Chelsea into a flip flap and flip it up and down to reveal Jama. So we'll give that a little room. Let's go ahead and look at the leaves. So I have cut these out of glimmer paper from Stampin' Up. This is available right now, and it comes in 3 different shades in this pack. We've got this beautiful magenta, green, and then white. So I have taken the green and I have cut out some leaves. Let's see. I also have 1 berry cluster. I call them berry clusters, buds. And I'm going to just adhere these down. So I like to just put them together. I like to just put a little bit of glue over both leaf bottoms. And you know what? Let's put these over here first. We'll put 2 there. we'll do one over here. I think I want this one over this way. Again, I'm still going to be mindful that I want to flip-flop there potentially. And I have cut out, like I said, I've cut out these crowns. Maybe we'll tuck them in here and there. I think that that would be a cute little accent. I don't know if you can tell that they're crowns, but I do think that just that little touch of gold makes this layout pop just a little bit more. And let's take a look. Do I want the berries there? I do. Now, I do have another one of these sprigs cut. These little tiny buds here are actually from Rosie glitter cardstock. So since I was going with Close to My Heart Rosie all over, I figured why not do the Rosie paper as well. The glimmer paper was a little bit too purpley. It was just a little bit too much. It kind of matched my shirt. In hindsight, maybe I should have gone that way, but I think it would have been too much of a contrast with all of the background paper that we chose here. Now, I do intend to eventually put some more buds on here. I'm wondering if we should use this or not. I'm going to put it in just the way it is. And right now, it's probably just going to look like a little bit of greenery. So I'm okay with that. Now, I can journal down here. I just need a title up here. And so the sketch called for a long title across the top. And so I needed something that was pretty thin. And I went stash diving. And this is what I found. I found these scrapbooking die cuts. It's the little things. And there's a title. It's The Good Life. So I'm going to take these out and I'm going to punch that out. I think this is going to fit the bill. I absolutely love when I can stash dive and use some of what I have. And I think that that's actually going to work really well right at the top there. See, there's a few black hearts here, maybe a few black hearts. I think we're going to pull in some hearts, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I have a little gap between these two pieces that I didn't really like. So let's just cover that up with some little black hearts. Is there one more heart? Yes. So I want, basically I want 3 on each page. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to get busy. I'm going to adhere all of this down, and then we will take a look at my finished layout. I've put all of the finishing touches onto my tea layout, and I'm just going to show you up close what it looks like. So we'll start with the left page, and I do love the way the Drizzling droplets worked right here in the corner. I think it just is a great anchor place for the cluster and the title to spring out from. The title was a really good fit. The Good Life, it sums up the afternoon tea experience that we had at the Empress Hotel together. I have put my journaling down here. I just did little pieces of cardstock that I journaled on and then adhered them. I do think that the little crown is kind of an understated piece in this cluster, but it's whimsical and I like the way that it looks. We've got the berries. I put a piece of Rosie enamel dot on top. I didn't want a more powerful punch. I wanted it to kind of be all monochromatic on that flower. So Rosie on top of Rosie and Rosie worked really well. I put some gold embellishing thread. Now I am not a master at gold embellishing thread, but I felt like we just needed something to kind of anchor this flower here. So I just continued it through all 3 flower clusters that you'll see. And the little hearts also punched out from the title piece. I just think that works well. That pop or 2 that we have going of the periwinkle is exactly what this layout needed. It not only picks up, like I said, the china, it also picks up the blue in the background and the reflection onto this desk that was back here. I don't know, it just works really well for the photo, even though these aren't elements that I necessarily wanted to pick up. Now, moving over to the right page, you'll see the china, and I think you'll see the blue rim around it and some of the blue details here that the periwinkle worked beautifully with. Right here is a really good example. I think you can pick it up here where it's just up against the table. So periwinkle was just the unexpected pop of color that I think we needed. I'm encouraging you to stash dive too. If you don't have that flowering zinnia paper, and you have some scraps, just use what you have. And layouts like the one that I used from the sketchbook are good for that. So I specifically picked out that one layout because it had a spaces for a multitude of photos here. Just so many photos I can fit on this layout. So right here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but I'm going to add flip flaps and add 4 more photos to this collage here of photos. So it's a great way to get all of my tea photos onto one layout. And with this sketch, you saw how quick and easy it all came together. Now, even if I didn't specifically measure the pieces exactly like the sketch gave me measurements for, it's okay. It's just the idea of how to lay this out and stack all of these pieces. But I encourage you to go over to cdtcreatives.com and look at those sketchbooks because they are just a way to get your creative juices flowing and get it done quickly. So thanks for stopping by my channel and watching this layout. I'll link to the playlist of all of our CDT videos. It'll be on the end screen, so stay tuned all the way to the end of this video to see that. I want to thank you for stopping by my channel, and if you're not yet a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that you won't miss any of my upcoming projects that I have to offer. And thanks for watching. Have a creative day.